if you are a print-on-demand seller with good research and good products, but you're still not making sales, chances are your products might not be getting seen. Now, this is one of the most important things that you can be thinking about as a print-on-demand seller. If you have the best designs in the world and some of the best niches, if they are just not getting in front of enough eyeballs and actually getting clicked on, you are not going to make any profit or be able to grow this into a really sustainable income that's making you money month after month. Now, as a successful full-time print-on-demand seller, there are some tips and tricks that I have really learned and worked on over the years. Now, some of these things are as simple as a 5-minute implementation that you can add to your listings, and many of them you might have not even thought about or heard of before. So in today's video, we're talking all things how to actually get your products seen and get them in front of more eyeballs. So let's not waste any more time and just jump right into it. Now, the very first thing you need to be doing as a print-on-demand seller, if you are not getting your products in front of enough people, is make sure you are selling in low competition niches and using customer-focused SEO. Now, what exactly does this mean? When we talk about low competition niches in print on demand, we want to make sure that we are selling things that people are really looking for, but also we're not competing against thousands of other sellers with the exact same idea as us. So sometimes new sellers, they think of something like they want to create maybe teacher or pet type designs. And both of those are very profitable niches. However, there is so much competition. So if you make a new teacher sweatshirt, chances are you're going to be on the 50th or 100th page on Etsy or Amazon, and your product's not going to get in front of any eyeballs, even if it is really good. So the strategy that I have really used for a long time to find good niches that have low enough competition, but people still want to buy them, is what I call my cross-niching strategy. Now, what this means is you are going to take two really popular niches or trends, and you are going to combine them together to be a little bit more specific. So there's a bunch of different ways that I do this, but one of the best ones that I have found a ton of success with is taking popular holidays and then crossing them with something like a career or a hobby. So for example, if you are making a Christmas design, Christmas by itself is just going to be way too saturated. But if you made a Christmas volleyball player shirt or say a Christmas physical therapist sweatshirt, those could be niches that actually have low enough competition that people who are interested in that hobby or career actually would want to buy. Now, the second part of this tip that I talked about is you need to have customer-focused SEO. Now, this is something that once you kind of get it, it clicks with you and it really changes how you are going about writing your titles and descriptions for your listings. Now, the big mistake that I see a lot of new sellers doing is they get really stuck trying to exactly describe what the item they are selling is. So maybe they're putting exactly what this shirt says. They're describing every single detail of this. So for example, that Christmas volleyball player shirt, maybe this shirt has a picture of Santa playing volleyball on it, and they are going to go into a lot of detail describing cute design of Santa playing volleyball on a red t-shirt. Now, that's not necessarily wrong, but you don't want to be thinking like a seller, you want to be thinking like a buyer. So try to figure out what a buyer might be searching for that could lead them to land on a listing like yours. So someone might look up the words like Christmas volleyball player shirt or gift for volleyball player, Christmas gift for volleyball lover. So all those kind of keywords are the things that you want to be putting in your title and description. Anything that someone might search in a search bar for your particular item is the stuff you want to be focusing on, not just describing exactly what it is you are selling. And once you can kind of figure that out, that is the magic formula. Now, cross-niching and research in general is one of the hardest things to master, and we would be here a lot longer if I tried to go into all of it. So I actually have a free hour-long workshop for you guys that takes you through this whole research method, gives you a lot of examples, and kind of step-by-step works you through how to do that. So if you've never taken it before or you just need a refresher, you can sign up at the link down below and I will send all the details of how to access that workshop free to your email. It's a really good resource. I've had so much amazing feedback from you guys and so many of you have already implemented this strategy in your business and it's really working. Now, the next thing that you need to be thinking about as a seller to actually get your product seen is probably the most important thing you can focus on, and that is making better mockups. The reality is that if you have an amazing design, even if your titles and descriptions are super customer focused and really help you get in the first pages of Etsy or Amazon, if your mockup photos are kind of generic, lackluster, or they aren't really doing anything for your product, you probably aren't going to get any clicks, which means you're not getting sales. So this sometimes is the make or break moment for your designs. Now, especially if you are using a manufacturing partner like Printify, it's really tempting to just go ahead and use their auto-generated mockups. It's not any extra work for you. They're already there. You don't really have to do anything. But if you do that, not only are you doing the same exact mockup as thousands of other people, but you're also not really making your item look special at all. You're not adding anything to that to really make a customer want to buy your item. Now, today I have partnered with Placeit because they are the subscription service that I have used for years to make all of my mockups for print on demand. Now, they're not just a mockup site. They really have so many tools for print on demand sellers, but one of the main ones I'm using pretty much every day is their mockup features. Now, the way that I really like to go about finding a good mockup is, first of all, I want to think about the type of customer that might be buying this item. So if you are designing stuff for maybe moms, you're probably not going to want to put this on a bunch of men. So on Placeit, you could simply look up something like woman with t-shirt or woman sitting on couch with t-shirt mockup. Now that's going to bring up a whole bunch of different options for you. So you can really find a good mockup that's going to look like a real person is wearing this item that fits the aesthetic of the design you're trying to sell. Now, personally, in my experience, what I have found is that mockups with real people in them tend to do better than mockups that are just a flat lay or a garment only design. Now, Placeit does have both kind of mockups and you can utilize both of them, but my go-to for you, if you really want your products to stand out and get in front of more eyeballs, is to select mockups with real people. Now, when I was first getting started, I actually really shied away from this because I thought it might be too distracting to have people in my images. But what I didn't know is that you can crop out people's faces and be just as effective. So what I typically do is I find a really good photo that I like with someone in a pose that really shows off the garment that I'm selling, and I'm going to crop it usually about chin level and make sure I'm showing the full item. Now, after that, a lot of times mockups are taken pretty far back, so there's so much stuff going on in the background, and I usually want to zoom in and really crop it very close to just the garment. Now, it's totally great if there's other stuff going on in the background. In fact, lifestyle images do very well, but you want to make sure your item is actually readable and they can see what they're buying. There's nothing worse than maybe a person holding a mug with a really cute sweatshirt with a bunch of other things going on, and you click on the item because you want to purchase that sweatshirt. Come to find out, it's only about selling this mug. So whatever item you are selling, if it is a mug, you want to get really in there and crop super close to this mock-up so people know exactly what it is they're looking to buy. Now, if you think about it, when people are shopping on a place like Etsy, the images that show up are very tiny, so we have limited space to really catch people's attention. And another thing I like about Placeit is it is a subscription service. So with a really low monthly subscription, you get access to their library of thousands of different mockups and almost any product you can think of. So a lot of times you're not going to know what type of mockup is exactly going to work with every single item right away. And so if you're paying for every single mockup individually, that really adds up. And sometimes you end up wasting money on mockups that really don't work and you shouldn't be using, but sometimes you've already sunk costs into that, so you feel like you should keep using it for your shop. Now, with a subscription like Placeit, you can try out a mockup for a few months, and if it's really not converting, you can switch that out for other things. And you can take advantage of doing like seasonal style mockups. So if you are selling items that are Christmas themed, I have found that theming the mockups to be around that holiday actually really helped them get even more clicks. Now, if you've never tried Placeit before, they have a few different plan options, including a free plan. So I highly recommend checking them out and making an account down below. I'll have all of their information down there. Now, along with that, one of the next things you can be doing to actually get your product seen is by simplifying your designs. products. Especially if you are new to designing, simple, very readable designs is what does best in print on demand. Now, if we think about a traditional retail experience like going to Target or Walmart, we are right up close with the item. We can see it in person. So if they have a tiny little thing that says like in my Jolly era right here by the collar, we could see that and it looks really, really cute in person. But if you think about how that might translate to a print on demand image, if the text is literally this small on a thumbnail image, it's going to be almost unreadable. So you really want to be making big, bold, simple designs that people can really see what's going on. Even if this isn't your personal taste or style, I have found that this type of designing does the best for print on demand sales in general. And you really don't have to overcomplicate things. I see a lot of new sellers trying to do a bunch of fonts and tons of graphics, but a lot of times just a simple text-based design with one font is going to beat out a lot of other types of designs. So try not to get overwhelmed, simplify what you're doing, and you might find that you actually are getting even more clicks and conversions. Now, the most tried and true way to actually get more eyeballs on your designs is something I talk about a lot, but not a ton of people are actually implementing. And that is you can be posting your designs on more than one site. Now, I know when you're first getting started, it's really overwhelming to even learn one new print on demand platform. So sometimes you feel like you're just trying to figure out what you're doing. But if you really want your product to be seen by more people, the more sites you are selling on, the more eyeballs and maybe different demographics you're going to have on your items. Now, time and time again, the sites that I recommend selling on is Etsy, Amazon, Redbubble, TeePublic, and Zazzle. Now, there is a lot of crossover between the shoppers on those sites, but a lot of times you're going to find you have different people looking on those sites for different things. Like for Redbubble, people are really looking for kind of that artist-drawn, really unique type items where they might not go to Amazon for that, but for Amazon, they might go just for a funny t-shirt with a text-based graphic. And on Etsy, they might be looking for something more personalized. So putting your items on multiple different sites gives each of them a chance to be seen by more different people and potentially find an audience there that might not have found them on a different site. So if you're posting on 4 sites, that's potentially 4 times the eyeballs seeing your designs and way more possibility to make sales. Now, the next strategy you can use to actually get your product seen by more people isn't going to be for everyone, but for some people, this is a strategy that really works, and that is utilizing social media. Now, one way that I have used in my own business to get products on Etsy seen is by creating a dedicated social media account for that particular Etsy brand that I have. Now, all I do there is I post lifestyle images of people wearing my products. Now, this doesn't mean that I'm going out and I'm actually hiring models and taking a bunch of photos of them. I am simply using Placeit, and instead of doing what I would do for a mock-up where I'm going to crop it so you don't see the face and really focus on the image, on social media, I want these images to look as real as possible, like real people are using and enjoying my items. So I find really good lifestyle images of people having fun related to the niche I'm selling in, and I put my designs on them. Now, Placeit, it auto formats everything, so it really does look like a real design and a real product. And then I simply post that on my Instagram account with a relevant caption. And especially if you have a very niche specific dedicated print on demand shop, this is a strategy that could work really well for you. Now, another thing that you can utilize on Etsy or on social media that Placeit does have is they actually have video mockups. So you just kind of drag and drop your design and it's going to automatically make a video of someone wearing and using that product. Now, that's a way to kind of really stand out against a bunch of other just regular still photos. If you have a video, that's automatically going to probably get more eyeballs on your listing. So that is just another thing you can try out for a few months and see if it really helps with your conversion, either on social media or just your mockups in general. Now, another tip that takes less than 1 minute to implement in your upload process is when you're listing new items on Etsy, never neglect the product category or shop category where you're going to put this item. I see a lot of new sellers completely skipping this step, or they just put their items in very generic categories like funny t-shirt gifts. So if you didn't know, the shop category section on Etsy is actually weighted in your SEO, so it acts like an additional tag, and it's going to give Etsy information about who to show this item to. So if you are selling in really specific niches, like you have a pickleball mom shirt, putting it in a category that you make like pickleball gifts is going to help the SEO of that item. So if you're not adding these tags, which takes literally seconds to do, you're missing out on potential extra eyeballs that could be landing on your items. Now, if you really feel like getting your product seen, you're still struggling with, and especially in the mockup department, you find that it's taking you way too long, you're spending a lot of time looking for and making mockups, or you just feel like you're doing things wrong, I actually have a full video right here with some of the biggest mockup tips and mistakes you might be doing. I highly recommend checking this video out next. And if you've never used Placeit before, I really can't recommend them enough. They're one of the tools that I've had for years and continue to use all the time. Give one of their paid plans a try for a month or two, see how you like it. And if it's not for you, you can use all of the mockups that you've downloaded and created in that time forever. But you might find that you really, really love all the tools that they have, and it's a huge asset to your print on demand business and really worth it. So I'll have all their information linked down below, as well as how to sign up for that free workshop for you guys. And I will see you in my next video.